Well, we're down on one of the fishing locations chasing tilapia. It's an obnoxious fish that's come from Asia, but it's a really popular recreational species. And here with Jason Williams and from MYCATCH Australia, he's a bit of an expert at catching tilapia and carp. So we'll go from tackle first. What kind of tackle do you need to, if you're going to go fishing for tilapia?
Depending on the size that you're chasing, you want to go for you're normally using worms as bait, so a fine worm hook, about a size 6 is normally suffice for the big, the small ones, whatever. You can choose whether you want to use a float or go unweighted. It depends on where the fish are on the day. Sometimes you'll find them close into the bank, there's no point putting a float on, where other days they're out further and you just can't cast with them. So personally I use a shore catch float. I find that the narrowness of it gives it no resistance on the water, so it actually lets the fish take the float under and it doesn't feel anything as it's going under. Best bait we use is these. It's a European Nightcrawler. There are other cheaper worms that you can use, but I find these quite sturdy, quite thick. They stay on the hook a lot longer. Yep. You pay a bit more for them, but the quality of fish you get from them you can't surpass. I
like to use these, so these are my personal favourites. They're the mustard fine worm hooks. So generally I go for the size 4s or the size 6s. So would they be probably the pick?
Yeah, no, that's about 4 size 6 is a pretty good size to do it. You get the smaller ones. It's enough to catch the bigger ones. And
yep. And of course, you're using your lines, your fluorocarbon. Yep. So if you're going to throw on a swivel or maybe have a float kind of rig and have a leader or a trace line on there, I just use around the 6 pound, 4 to 6 pound, nice and light. And just like your tackle, I mean, I've just brought along this G Loomis, it's nice and light. So you say maybe you're 1 to 3 kilo, 2 to 5, so around sort of that area. That's a little 2000, so that's, so what have you got? What
I've got the 2400 Stratic on the Atomic Arrows rod. I find it fun, it's just a nice light little setup. Have a play with the fish as well, have a bit of fun with it. Tilapia are pretty good fighters, but considering they're a pest fish, so yeah, you can enjoy it, back the drag off a little bit and have some fun.
What's the regulation? Tell me, I need to learn something about this. You keep one and you get caught with it.
Yeah, mate, it is not worth it. Different laws state it's up to a $250,000 fine. Whether you get the maximum penalty or not, it's not worth it. So
is that per fish?
Per fish.
Per fish?
If you get caught with them.
4 fish? $1 million. Hang on.
I've heard people getting a couple of $100 fines, but it's whatever fisheries finds on the day.
So basically you catch one of these, what's the rules? What do you do with it? As soon as you've caught it and you get it on the bank, what's the next step?
You must humanely kill it. It's whether you give it a sharp blow to the head in the right spot. You can't sit there whack it 10 times to try and kill the thing.
That's not humane.
No, if you're going to use the whack on the head, you've got to know what you're doing, you've got to hit it right.
So use like an Ica spike or maybe to go straight.
Straight through the brain.
That's what we did with the squid, and it's instantaneous. So we don't want fish feeling pain.
Because that's it. At the end of the day, it is still cruelty to animals, whether it's a pest fish or not. No matter what it is, it's cruelty to animals. So you've got to be as humane as you can.
Well, there you go, mate. Some really awesome tips from the expert himself. 4,000 on his belt, so you might need another belt soon. So Jason Williams from MYCATCH Australia. I hope you guys have learned a little bit about catching tilapia, because I sure have.